9 straight wins, I'll take that.
7k dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We'll be checking out Mythical Awakened Vanessa in PvP, and as we know, she is used in PvE quite often. But what about PvE? So I have a live stream that will go on tomorrow and I want you guys to contribute. So let me know what you guys want to see, what teams you want to see Vanessa in, and I will try to fit that in the live stream tomorrow. So be sure to catch that when we go live. Now, one thing I didn't talk about is that Vanessa is actually pretty good for newer players because she resets Awakening skill, and many newer players do not have the accessory that allows for that. Okay, so she's actually pretty good, especially with Valika. Now for the PvP setup, I have given her double crit and I have very bad weapons and also double block. So the block rate is pretty high for her. Skill use chance, this is a very bad choice of a jewel. Please do not use it. I'm only using it because I need this video to come out. Otherwise, she will not move and I will have nothing to show you guys. So skill use chance, I think magic attack is pretty good. Okay, do not give her increased awakening gauge too, because if she charges too fast, then there's no point in using her awaken skill too early, because she needs to reset after your allies have used their awaken skills. So damage reduction from block and survive on 1 HP as well, with a lethal damage increase. This will complement very well with a passive, because a passive does increase lethal rate by 50% for all allies as well. Okay, so these are the dual choices. Alternatively, you can also go with a crit and lethal rate increase. Of course, that's a very standard kind of dual, especially for a damage dealer. She hits pretty well, so you can be assured about that. And for the accessory, I have given her Guardian Ring, Height and Purification. This is kind of a very standard combination right now. Nothing much is changing with the accessory meta, so it's safe to go with this, okay? And then for her limit break, I've given her Reflect, Nullification, Resistance, Stun Resist and Paralyze Resist. Okay, so you can go for other kind of resistances if you like. You can also go for Silence Resist, so that she can actually use her skills. That's also possible. I think Reflect is actually a big thing now, especially with so many players with the appropriate stamps, blessing stamp set. And if you're not running, Chip or Able in your team, then I think Reflect immunity is pretty important for the magic team especially. Now usually I don't really show the other equipment on my heroes because this is a Vanessa showcase, but I'm just going to show you because she does increase lethal rate by 50%, so you can afford to give your entire team crit weapons. Okay, so Baal was with crit, Anti is also with crit, HP. The jewels, you can just take a note from here. I'll leave that to your to your inventory and whatever you have, but you can just take pointers here. My Anti also has reset awaken skill on top of whatever Vanessa's gonna give her. Rain also double crit, HP, damage reduction from block. I don't know why I have that on her. I think I need to get that out. Okay, and then Yonti, she's my speed leader. Double speed, double counter, lifesteal, survive for 1 HP. Effect attack rate increase, counter rate increase, and speed attack, of course. Can attack twice on basic attack. So there's only going to be one team that I have chosen for this video, and of course remember to leave in the comments what other teams you like to see. I'm using her on the magic team. I was quite hesitant at first because I climbed all the way from 4400 all the way up to 48. Okay, in this particular, not in this video, but during my entire testing. So she's actually a really decent unit, to be honest, which is a far cry from what we had previously. Previously, Vanessa was completely not usable, if you remember. Like for a very long time, even when she came out, when she awakened, she was not usable. So for her passive, she takes 40% less magic damage. She also revives with 100% HP, making her the first non-prime hero to have revival of 100% HP. She also decreases allies cooldown by 5% when 5 seconds when attacked. So that's gonna be pretty common, especially when your arena is filled with so many AoE attacks. And as you saw just now, Baal actually used her eliminate on the enemy, and then now my Vanessa is actually gonna reset that. So that's one thing that you really want to hope happens in your team. Unfortunately, my Baal didn't manage to eliminate anyone because of the skill nullification the enemy had. But if it was a thing, you know, you're gonna have a lot of elimination. Maybe 2 to 3 eliminations in a match if it lasts that long. So that's pretty good. Now for Vanessa's skills, she does do 600% damage to 3 enemies for all her skills, even her Awakened skill. Okay, her bottom skill will decrease buff duration and increase enemies cooldown, pretty good. Her top skill will cast a shield of 20,000 and also decrease awakening gauge. Okay, so this is his bio eliminating. Thankfully he didn't eliminate anyone. Oh, Vanessa died, so sad. Okay, but yeah, so as I was saying, her Awakened skill, she is able to heal the entire team and also reset their Awakened skill. I think this is a very useful Awakened skill. I can't remember if she does heal on her Awakened form. I think it cleanses or resets cooldown or something like this. I can't remember. But healing in PvP is so clutch, and she heals by 200% of magic attack. That is very, very helpful. Okay, even if you have an enemy has a Judas that nerfs the heal, it's still gonna have something going on, at least. And I think there's so many matches later on you will see that the heal actually is such a clutch moment that turned the entire tide of the battle. And I think it's so well named, turn back time. It really turned back time for me because she heals and then I actually have a second fighting chance. So this is up against an offensive team, and of course with Bryn here I should have an advantage, but to tell you the truth, I faced a couple of offensive teams, and the thing is with Phi still very prominent, it can be a 50-50 thing, because if she lands the Agnes Flame very early, like in this case, you are going to have a very huge disadvantage, because you'll get burned very easily. Oh, and somehow Dylan's here is the one with the highest attack, not Phi, which is the most unfortunate part. I don't know how this user actually made Dylan's higher attack than Phi when Phi is at the back. So yeah, and his Phi did have 32,000 Agnes Flame. So that's what I mean, but it can still be a lost case, you know, if your skills aren't right and my anti isn't cleansing, which is very bad. And you have to kind of survive like 4 turns until your purification accessory kicks in, then you can get rid of it. But thankfully, you know, with Bryn here, I can easily just knock them down without them surviving on 1 HP. That's the best part of it. So, you see here, I think the team is actually pretty good. And, you know, with Baal reducing defense of the enemies, Vanessa actually can hit pretty hard if the enemy doesn't block. So the only weakness to this team, I would say, is facing enemies with very high block, because Vanessa, she doesn't have any ignore defense on her skills, but she does have a very high multiplier. So if you face enemies with Rudy, you will end up in very long matches, because I have had battles that go all the way to 8 minutes, you know. So that's gonna be a problem late match if you only have Vanessa left with maybe Anti, because they both can revive. One thing though, when Vanessa does cast her shield of 20,000, you know, damage on the allies in the late match, it's very difficult to break the shield, so it's actually a very good survival effect as well. So right now my anti has already used her Awakened skill. Hopefully Vanessa will move a little bit. Yeah, here. Okay, Abel died, so that's great. And I really still love her decreased awakening gauge, because I think it's so clutch. Previously the magic team didn't have anyone that could do that. Oh, look at the damage! Wow! Yeah, that's what I mean. When she does, you know, hit through with the crit and lethal, I think she can do very good damage. Unfortunately here she used her Awakened skill too early, and my Baal still stunned. So she didn't use her Awakened skill yet, otherwise, you know, there's a potential to get 2 eliminations, which is gonna be good. Next up, I hope that we do have heroes that increase the charge speed a bit, or something like that, because that was actually existing in the pre-reboot but no longer in the game, that effect. So that's the unfortunate part. So other alternative teams which I can think of, just giving you ideas, you know. You can use Rudy. Rudy is definitely still very strong, especially if you have the ambush set. So Rudy, if you decide to put Rudy here, you know, over Bile, because Bile is not that common, that's completely usable. Okay, so you can also use Scoot, although I'm not too sure who I would, you know, replace with Scoot. It's likely Rin, but Rin is just so good. Her buff is just so good, her passive is really good. So that's where you have to decide, because Bile is definitely gonna be there, you know. Anti is definitely gonna be there. You cannot run away from these two primes. These two primes are so important, and Yonhee is the pillar of the Magic team. So when it really comes down to that final member in the Magic team, it will go either Vanessa, Scoot, Rudy, Rangrid even, okay, Judas. So there are 5 potential really good heroes that you can slot in as the 5th member of the Magic team. Here we are looking at a Magic team again. I think we faced a Universal team just now. So I mean, you guys know the results of all the matches, right? So just observe how the matches are actually being done. I'm not sure if you caught the time where I actually healed back. There were times when I was so low on health and then Vanessa just healed me all the way back and I turned the entire battle around. So yeah, as I was mentioning about the skill use chance duel, not very good to be honest, because as you can see, Vanessa is actually using her skills, which means she will charge her Awakening Gauge pretty fast. And unlike Bile, if Bile uses her Awakening Gauge, I mean, if you think about it, if Bile uses her skills on the same pace as Vanessa, Vanessa will still get her Awakened skill earlier than Bile. Okay, so Bile needs the skill chance more than Vanessa. I think it's that, oh, 1 million. That was a lot of damage from my Yonhee. Yeah, so I was saying Bile needs the skill chance over Vanessa, and Vanessa should only use her Awakened skill or get it charged pretty late into the match. Okay. And I have been having a lot of good success with the team, and elimination here is super timely because I don't want to deal with the Judas. In a way whereby you have isolation going on, your skill nullification going on, you finally have healing and also to delay the enemy's awakening skills. That's very good, and potentially also increase their cooldown, which means there's a lot of things going on against the enemy, and I think that's what makes this team so strong and efficient. Here again we face the offensive team, which is a little scary because Phi is a little active, kind of. Thankfully I do cleanse. Oh, oof. That is a lot of damage from the Agnes Flame. I think my Bile did the HP swap as well. Yeah, but thankfully they don't survive on 1 HP, so that's the good thing about having Rin. So this last match, I don't think it has much Vanessa showcase. I just want to see if... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I just want to see if even through the skill nullification, if she gets hit in a way, you know, does the cooldown decrease? And I didn't manage to catch that. So let me know if you did observe that in the comments. And have you tried Vanessa in Arena? If so, let me know what you think of her. Big shout out to my channel members ZMD Phoenix, Yamaki, Hibiku, and Reggie Bautista for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!